Hi, this is Abdulaziz Khan with my today's headline of different news channels. So, as usual, we start with CNN, and the main focus is China. China has become involved in a lot of things. So, now Australia angered China by calling for a coronavirus investigation. And you see China's response that they are targeting its exports. So, China is a country which don't work in a normal way. Generally, if you are in a scuffle with any other country, you start to minimize the imports from that country because import is something that you can uh, control more, and you can give that country a hit of by not importing his item. But China do it otherwise. They stop export of its cheap things to your country because China knows that what kind of small things you control, the day-to-day using things, whatever you control in that country. China stops those small things, and then those things they become too much costly in that country, and then so China do it in the other way. I mean, so Australia asked for coronavirus investigation, and China is targeting the exports. So Peru has 5,000 new virus cases. So Latin America is now epicenter of the outbreak. But I will not fully agree with this statement because it's rising everywhere. US is still on the top. I mean, US is on the top. What is going on in Europe, we don't actually know, but Spain is like very high in number, and India is also getting higher a bit now. I mean, because some countries they are a bit uh, slow in this number, but now we see that the epidemic is because the epidemic is universal. So a lot of countries they are like here it says that Europe rebounds from coronavirus is threatened. So again, the number in Europe is not dropping like the way it was expected. 53 choir members were infected in super spreader event. So this is very well known that if you will do any mass gathering without enough protection, then this will increase. So what is the point in making this news? It's a very normal thing. I mean, I'm very sure that this event should have been done in a very normal way. This kind of person should be there without any mask or without anything. So China is having a tough time in Hong Kong as well. Amid everything, amid Corona or whatever other tensions they have, they are still pushing for the national anthem bill in Hong Kong. China is showing that it's becoming the world leader. I mean, it's becoming the biggest world leader because the other leaders of big countries like US and Europe, I don't know why, but they are relying more on rhetoric only. I mean, they are like Trump is tweeting, and Twitter is now first time Twitter labeled some of Trump tweets as misleading. He's a president of a country and his tweets are misleading. So he should think that he's not a film industry guy. I mean, he's not a hero of a film. I mean, this is something real. He is running a country. He should get out of his Hollywood mind, but I don't know. This guy is. I mean, he's trying to handle the whole world politics through some Twitter tweets only. So because of his irresponsible behavior, now four cops in US fired after video shows one kneeling on neck of black man. So still within this COVID-19, a lot of people already dying, a lot of pandemic and chaos and everything. And still racism is on the higher side. I mean, white police they killed a black man. This white woman, they called police because a black man was because in this is a known trend. I don't know. I'm sitting in Pakistan and I know that this is a known trend now in the US and all other countries because people are stranded in their home. They cannot do a lot of things. So things like gardening, bird watching, it has increased many fold. I mean, because people have to do nothing generally, so they are involving themselves in these kind of things. So bird watching has increased a lot. So this black man, he was filming some birds. Maybe like me, maybe he's making a hobby and maybe he wanted to put it on some social media or whatever reason. But he was filming some birds, and this woman, she thought that he's threatening her, and then she called the police and she behaved like in very concerned or very shocking way. And then at last, her own company, they fired her because of when they saw everything. Then the woman was fired by her company as well. So the thing is that this difference, I mean, this was a black man and she was a white woman, and she mentioned these kind of things in her story to the police. So why don't she take it as a normal? I mean, that someone is filming me. I mean, if you want to make a complaint, you can make a general complaint that a person is filming me. Saying that a black person is filming me, or later she tried to apologize as well, but I think it was too late. So a lot of things. Now the beach goer says, if Trump is not wearing a mask, I'm not going to. So everyone wants to follow a hero of a film. It's very normal. So apart from that, Pakistan flagship carrier needs a radical overhaul. Yes, one of the airplanes it crashed, and we see that there are some really big problems, and yes, the PIA should think about it. So Thailand is not reopening international tourists yet. Thailand is taking care of its people, so this is a good sign generally. A real natural event happens. This conifers, they gave seeds after, because they don't give it every year, so it's a big moment. These death defying people, they are getting really famous. So apart of this, we don't have a lot on CNN. We should go to BBC. Same Twitter tags Trump post with fact-checking warning. Latin America is going high. US cops fired. So doctors are the frontline heroes. I mean, they know that the thing is very dangerous, and still they are fighting it as much as they can. And so it's getting high in India as well. The most richest city, Mumbai, is having a big number of cases. So is Lady Gaga genius or a copycat? I'm not sure, so I will not comment over it. So some face masks are more effective than others. Yeah, this is something which is required. I mean, I like this news. Like we know that a lot of people, they still have, I mean, not I still, I mean, they have good money. They want to spend their time in, for example, in going to concerts or whatever. Then we should adapt to the situation. I mean, like for example, this drive-in concert in a big car park. This is the way. I mean, if you have to do these kind of things, then you should at least take care. You should make some good SOPs that it don't spread. The chances of something spreading out of this gathering are very, very low. But again, some countries like we saw in the Memorial Day in UK and US, I mean, people mingling with each other on the beaches and on parks and everywhere. So if you really have to go out, if you really have to enjoy and you have to, then you can at least do something so that it prevents the outbreak. So like this is also a very creative solution. I mean that any place where people have to stand to wait for something, why don't you just make these kind of boxes, and so that people can easily stand with a good distance with each other. So this is again, I will say that these creative things are the good things. I mean, this is how people will start to behave if they really want to keep everything on a good level. So let's go to our friend China. China, I don't have any big story on Xinhua today. Uh, China is using other countries' example to prove that their law in Hong Kong is what is really needed at this time. So, but what we can say, I mean, UK does top 37,000. So UK has a lot of tests, but still they are not ready to understand. And amidst everything, China's trip to Mount Everest is on the way. So whatever China is doing, they are doing it in the best possible way. They are putting every effort everywhere. Like this lady, Meng Wanzhou, the CFO of Huawei, China is following her as well, and China is saying that she's very important for us. So they are not going to let anything go past us easily. They are in the Mount Everest. They are in Hong Kong. They are fighting now with even Australia as well, because Australia also wants some uh, coronavirus investigation. So China is giving a very tough time to everyone in the world. So this is how you try to become the world power, that you should be involved everywhere and in everything. So Spain is also someone with a very big number, and Trump urging to end to lockdown. Okay, no problem. They can do it in their country. I have no problem with that. Hong Kong on HP for National Anthem bill. So same kind of India is getting a big number now. So India is also picking up the pace, and India is hit by a very worst locust attack as well. And I was watching to some social media some of the Indian news, and I was very surprised. I mean that I don't know, in their mind. I mean, every country has some big problem which they are not going to correct now, because they accuse these creatures that they are coming from Pakistan. I mean, that's what a joke. I mean, can Pakistan train and control these? I mean, if it is possible, then they should already bow down to Pakistan. I mean, if you can control these kind of things, then you can control everything. So Myanmar is still going against the Muslim. I don't know what will give them some courage to accept diversity. A lot of countries who encourage diversity, they are flourishing. But these kind of countries, I don't know what kind of mindset they work with, and what these kind of people, innocent people living in villages, what they can do to you. I mean, so this U.S. The white woman and the border watcher, this has again instigated a racism debate. So Venezuela health system also very much unprepared. Things are getting. Nokia shuts Indian plant down because of Corona people. Saudi Arabia to partly ease coronavirus lockdown. So they are doing it in phases, 3 or 4 phases. But still, they will not open the holy mosque in Makkah. This will be the last thing that they do because there is the biggest gathering in Makkah. So they are doing it with a very careful way, which is a good thing. Today I added this Reuters as well because it gives some financial things as well. So most of the news are almost the same, but like there is a fear of coronavirus second wave coming, and so China's industrial profit decline is slowing down. So China is getting back on its industrial output. So the financial things are also getting better in the countries which are in good control of over things. So like China is getting back, but US is not getting anywhere. I mean, US is only getting high in number of cases. There they have a millions of cases and 100,000s of deaths, biggest deaths in the world, and still they are only blaming other countries. This US map, I like it. I mean, here you can see that the small graphs of different states. So you can see most of the graph in this central region and here in the east as well. They are going towards higher to higher, and some regions, some states, they are again they are flat again. They are getting lower, but most of these they are getting higher and higher. So US will take care of its people, not that they will just starting fighting with other guys. So rich people, they are rich. They can, they are, and they want to spend good time in every circumstances. So they can, they should do the luxury camps and luxury cars. So rich travelers are ready to pay more so that they can enjoy even during this COVID-19 as well. So a lot of things. Boeing set to announce significant US job cuts this week. So the pandemic will now the second wave of pandemic will come with a recession and a job cut and these kind of things. So the people running these countries, they should take care of these kind of things, that how we can engage our people and how we can keep them busy. So the students graduating, they are graduating at their home because no good mass gatherings allowed. One thing that I found like this news, this is like Chinese troops enter India at multiple locations. China is tweeting this a lot on social media and its own websites. But I searched on these four. China is not, even China is also not showing it. At this Ladakh I search, and it's only Al Jazeera had some news, but CNN, BBC, they don't have any news. Writer also have news about it, but so this is you can say that the power of China, that even some of the Western or and American media is also not showing some of the bad pictures of China. I mean, so China is really controlling a lot of things in the world. So China is, as I started, I will end also on this, that China is very busy in every nook and corner of the world, and they are showing that they are the people who are trying to run this world, not like US or Europe. So let's meet together. Let's meet again tomorrow with new headlines. So today's headline was generally uh, taken over by China and the increased racism in the US. So see you tomorrow. Bye.